It's time for the Daily Stand Up Podcast presented by Agile Dad with your host, Lee Henson. Without any further ado, let's get started. All right, everyone, it's Friday. That means it's time for this Agile, Not So Agile episode of the Daily Stand Up Podcast. And I want to tell you now, this is probably the first time I've ever done this, but I want to tell you about someone that I met recently at the PMBA conference out in Boston. I met a gentleman named Phil Barth. Now, Phil is a pretty incredible guy. If there was a hashtag to describe Phil, it would be great things happen. And let me tell you, he inspired me so much with a couple of things that he said. So, the first thing that he talked about during my keynote address, I asked a question about what drives you, what motivates you, what difference are you making in the world? And he went beyond a gratitude journal and he told me that he has put together a book. And in this book, he talks about all the things that you can do to spread positivity and love. And he talks specifically about spreading positivity and love on social media. And let me tell you, I was just so terribly impressed with that answer. It warmed my heart, and I wanted to make sure that I did something special for him. So later, after my keynote, later that day, I had an opportunity to attend one of his sessions, and he was talking about frying the chickens in our lives, which sounds kind of crazy, but if you've watched Luca, which many of you have, a Disney production, you know about Silenzio Bruno, right? We talked about that in one of our previous podcast episodes. But he talks about the chickens in your life that make you believe that you can't do things. The voice in your head, the chicken that says, you're too afraid to do that or you're not good enough to do that. And he really went in deep on the whole, you got to fry your chickens and move on. You've got to do things that are going to help you grow. And it just felt like such a perfect storm and a perfect combination based on what he was trying to say and what I was trying to do. It just all fit together so well. It was surprisingly even way better than I could have expected. So his presentation went really well, but I think his big key that I thought was really cool was he had an opportunity to be on the game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Now, those of you who know me know how much I love trivia. And here's a confession, and I don't even think I told Phil. For quite some time, I said I wanted to be on that show. It is an amazing show. And he told us about the audition process. He told us about how people get vetted. He told us about how crazy nuts he went. And he actually wound up on a show with Meredith Vieira, and he did quite well. He made it all the way up to the $32,000 question and missed on the $64,000 question. But what I can tell you is that this gentleman, he inspired me. And that's a steep hill to climb, right? He just made me feel so much better about life and about choices and about uplifting others and about making a difference. So I took a chance and I said, I hope I get to see more of him. And he had an opportunity to do what I call the Triple Crown. So at this conference, I had an opportunity to do a public speaking engagement. Then I had an opportunity to do a keynote. Then I had an opportunity to do a workshop. And let me tell you, it was so powerful to see him in all three sessions. And it was just really cool to spend time with him and to get to know him as a person. And I want to just give you a preview of what I discovered so that you can get a feel for why I attached to this guy and why I felt so good about his his mantra and about what he does, and it was just pretty incredible. So it's one of these things where it's the title of the book is called "Great Things Happen Every Day: Finding Joy with Family and Friends and Banana Milkshakes." And I thought that was kind of funny. He always has something in there, and he talks about everything from his journey in life to changing his diet and exercising more, to controlling stress, to just all these different things. But I love this quote. He says, "My goal is to share the celebration with you and start a great things movement. We can do it because great things happen all around us, and they do happen every day." As if that wasn't enough, beginning in November of 2020, he put together a charity along with his book that said, effective immediately, that $1 for each book sold will go to help children in El Milagro, Peru, or El Milagro, yeah, Peru. And it's just incredible to see just the outreach that this one man has. So he does keynote presentations. He's a speaker just like I am. He calls himself a humorist. And any of you who know me, I call myself an edutainer. What I can tell you is this past week, I've had the opportunity to meet so many people, but Phil was the one who inspired me the most. He uplifted me, he warmed my heart. And the best thing of all, if you go on Amazon right now, his audiobook and Kindle are available for free. I was floored. Free, FREE. The hardcover is $14.99, the paperback's $9.12. But what I can tell you is I certainly plan on ordering one just to support the cause. But more importantly, this is an opportunity to sit at the feet of someone who really went out of his way to help people understand that positivity should be present in our lives. And, no matter what happens, great things happen. And I just want to take my hat off and leave this podcast as a tribute to Phil. And I hope that you can take an opportunity to look for a great thing in your life each day. Write it down. Write down something you're grateful for. Publish it on social media. Let the world know with your gratitude what you see. And what I can tell you is if you do these things, it's going to help you help others to feel better. And it's just been a long time since I've had an opportunity to really meet someone who had this type of impact. So, Phil, thanks for being who you are. Thanks for your book. Thanks for your message. And thanks for all the things that you put together. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope you have an amazing weekend. And until next week, stay well, stay healthy, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.